a little take on Weekend Update. Hope you like it. Paul is pretty normal here. It's kind of thick and sort of crunchy. Anyway, the big hand. Where is he? Paul, you're around.
Here he is.
Paul, big hand for Paul Farrell.
That's right. Plug it first. Thank you.
According to records recently released by New York University Medical Center, Jay Meltzer is in fact 150 years old. Mr. Meltzer was apparently killed as a 22-year-old in the Civil War, but upon arrival at the pearly gates was found to be, according to St. Peter, just too damn ornery and sent back. Also on the medical front, Jack Kelly has apparently recovered from a 5-year attack of writer's block and has been secretly ghostwriting for John Chrysotopoulos and Steve Mandel for the last 2 years. Jack recently began tutoring Jim Irwin on his long-awaited auto industry report. This just came in. Darlene Cardoni and Kim Clark are pregnant. Chuck Dickinson is not. Incidentally, Chuck recently won the NCAA playoff pool and spent his entire $200 prize yesterday morning on the way in at Dunkin' Donuts. Mike Armelino denied that he submitted a bid to the upcoming auction for the remaining Drexel Burnham assets. Sources close to the firm, however, do confirm that Mike submitted the winning bid for Mike Milken's toupee. Mr. Armelino narrowly beat out Richard Simon, whose bid of $1 million consisted entirely of the now nearly worthless Time Warner preferred. The CIA denies that one of its agents, Robert C. Adler, instigated the uprisings that erupted shortly after his visits to the following countries: East Germany, Czechoslovakia, Haiti, and China. Mr. Adler insists, on the contrary, that these trips were all part of the Berlitz Roadshow. The riot, however, which recently erupted in Youngstown, Ohio, during Mr. Adler's visit, was apparently simply Mr. Adler himself going berserk over what he termed atrocious room service at the local restaurant. According to world-famous scholar William Safire, the K in the K ratio comes not from Keely, but from the Greek Kyrie Eleison, which roughly translates means, Lord, deliver us from the ramblings of this lunatic hippie. From the personnel department, Mitch Goldfeld's real name is Mitch Goldfeld. Doug does not exist. Never has. Federal authorities continue to investigate unconfirmed reports that notorious gangster Jimmy Hoffa is not buried under the Meadowlands after all, but is alive and well and disguised as Steve Farrell, a securities analyst at Goldman Sachs. Think about it. Steve Farrell, Jimmy Hoffa. Both names have 10 letters. Both end in A. Hoffa disappeared forever in 1985. Steve started in 1985. Have you ever seen the two together? Coincidence? Maybe not. After all, Farrell talks like a hood, doesn't he? Art Charpentier confirms reports that upon leaving the firm, he donated his entire JCPenney wardrobe to David Altman. Unfortunately, Art, in addition to not having bought new clothes since 1970, and having extremely poor taste, today's National Enquirer, Donald Trump's new love interest is not Ivana, not Marlon Maples, but our own Lynn Sherwood. The two were recently seen together in intimate embrace for the Trump princess. Ms. Sherwood was wearing her signature scarf off the shoulder and a leather and lace cape. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, excessive use of aerosol hairsprays has resulted in several holes in the ozone layer. The largest such hole was recently located directly over Jack Salzman's house. Mr. Salzman promised to reduce his two-candidate habit immediately. A secondary hole was located over Darlene Carlin. When confronted with the report, she replied in typical Brooklyn fashion, "Liar, liar, squeeze your head with a fly." The Goldman Sachs analyst was recently arrested for making a fraudulent bid on the Dow tape for one of her stocks. Nobody gets. A food analyst at Goldman, tired of her recommended stocks underperforming, recently bid $100 a share for the 100% of CEC she didn't already own. Ms. Geddes just happened on a few options on the particular stock, however. When allowed her obligatory phone call, Ms. Geddes phoned Reuters and raised the bid to $150.